Hello everyone. Welcome to Everything Tech and More. Today I am going to talk about what we got at WWDC 2021 and if it was a letdown or not. Let's go. So let's start with iOS 15. To start with, we got some updates to FaceTime. The first major change is that FaceTime now supports spatial audio. This means that wherever the person is on the screen, the sound will come from that place. This feature is only available with AirPods Pro and AirPods Max. You also get a voice isolation mode which tries to get rid of as much background noise as possible, and you also get a wide spectrum mode which tries to get all of the background noise in as possible. You also get a portrait mode now which blurs your background out, which is a nice feature. To make FaceTime more business-like, Apple has introduced some Office features like what Microsoft Teams has. To start with, there is calendar integration now, so the important meetings are stored on your calendar. You also get mute alerts to let you know that you are muted when you are talking. There is also a zoom feature which zooms you in so it can get rid of as much background as possible. For the first time ever, you can use FaceTime on a device that is not an Apple product. Let me explain. So people can now send a link to people without an Apple device to join a meeting, which is a great feature. Sadly though, you won't be able to make a meeting if you are using an Android device or a Windows device for security reasons. Finally, another feature for FaceTime is that there is a new feature called Share Play. What this does is that it lets you share what you are watching on TV, listening to music, and what is on your screen. This does this in real time, so you get the best experience possible as if you were at that place. Right, so let's move on to messages. There is not a lot that has changed apart from a couple of things that we will get to later, but for now there is a new way to access your photos on the Message app. If someone sends you loads of messages at once, it will show them as a photo collection, so it is easier to look at the photos. Because of this, there is another new feature, which is that you can save the pictures you get a lot easier. Maps have also changed. There is now an interactive globe when you zoom out far. There is also a new city experience, but in the UK it is only in London, but my guess is that it will go to more places. The navigation has also improved, so it is easier to follow your route because it tells you what lane you should be in. You also get better walking directions and better place cards which give you more information about that place. There is an improved search and a better user profile, so the maps remember if you drive an electric car or you want the fastest route, for example. The next app that has got updated is the Safari app. There is a new streamlined tab bar that has now moved to the bottom. This is very handy for tall and big iPhones. From here you can swipe left or right to change to different tabs. Also, talking of tabs, there is also a tab overview. Instead of what we had before, the tab overview is now in a grid, which makes them easier to see in my opinion. There is also another new feature. If you want to refresh the page, you swipe down to refresh it like you would do for your emails. The search part is also smarter and you can group tabs, which is a good idea when you think about it. There is also a customizable start page like what you would find on the macOS Safari, and also like what you would find on the macOS Safari, you get web extensions now, which is very useful. Finally, a couple of other new bits is that there is a new voice search and there are better privacy protections. So next up on the list is the Wallet app. There are some new types of cards that you can have in the Wallet app. To start with, you can add your home keys to it to unlock your smart locks. You can also add a hotel key and office key also. You can add more car keys, and that can control anything with your car, for example climate control. You can even add your own ID, for example your driver's license, to it. Other new features include support for multiple downloads for passes, and the passes that have run out of date now go into an archive folder. The Photos app also got some big changes. Your memories can now be made with music from Apple Music, which is very clever. You can also interact with the memory videos to find the best photos in that collection, which I like the idea of. Other improvements include a faster sync time to iCloud photos. People identification and naming workflow will work smoother and better than before, and finally there is a new selection order for your photos. The next app that got some changes was the Health app. You can now share your health data with others. This can be good if you have old relatives. You can also share your data with your doctor now. You can also share notifications with others and send messages about yours or theirs health trends. Talking of trends, you can look at him to see how your body is doing. For example, if your resting heart rate is going higher than what it should be. There is also a walking steadiness feature. One big feature though is that there is a COVID-19 immunizations and test results section. This is like the NHS app but built into the iPhone. This is where you can record your COVID test results, check in at venues and also say if you have been vaccinated or not. Other things include lab results enhancements and blood glucose highlights. So the Notes app got some updates. You can create custom smart folders to store your notes. If you do note sharing, you can also do mentions and hashtags, which is clever. The hashtags also make it easier to find the notes. There is also a new feature called Quick Notes that lets you swipe from the bottom right to the middle of the screen to get a little sticky note so you can draw a note or write on it if you want to put something down quickly. You can also add an internet link to a note like this too. The Weather app also got updates. There are now animated backgrounds depending on the weather and what time of day it is. This of course includes a new design to the Weather app. You can now get hourly precipitation notifications, and there is now a weather map that shows you how hot it is in different places and where the rain is a bit like a lightning radar. The Find My app also got updates. The locations of your family and friends will now update live so you know exactly where they are. There are also separation alerts from your devices, and also you can locate your device if it has been powered off or if it has been erased. The Find My network now supports AirPods, so if you lose them you can find them like you can with your AirTags. Finally, there is a Find My widget. The Mail app got better privacy protection, but that is about it. Next up is Siri. Now Siri does speech processing on your device, which introduces offline support and faster data processing. Other new features include announcing your notifications through your AirPods and announcing messages when you are in CarPlay mode. You can also control your smart home devices at a specific time, so for example if you want your lights to turn on at 7 in the evening you can do so through Siri. Finally, there is more natural text to speak in more languages. In WWDC 2021, even Apple ID got some updates. You can now recover your Apple ID account through your contacts. How this works is that you assign a contact that can recover your Apple ID. This could be very handy to have. There are more privacy features also. This includes an app privacy report so you can see what apps are taking the most data. There is also a secure paste now, so when you copy and paste it is now secure. There are also improvements on sharing your current location and limited photos library access. Memojis have also got an update. You can now customize their clothing. You can also add 2 different eye colors and multicolored headwear. There are also some new glasses and Memoji stickers, and finally some new accessibility options. Notifications have also got an all-new design. There is a new, more compact look which I like, as it looks a lot more simpler than what you have now. There is also a notification summary. You can also mute specific notifications, and with this you get muting suggestions to help you with this feature. You can also set time-sensitive notifications. For example, you can mute specific notifications when you are at work. So let's talk about some little improvements. You can now reorder home pages in the app library. There is a new App Store widget. There is also a new Apple Pay sheet design and a redesigned newsfeed. There are also some camera picture quality improvements. So what new features have we got in iOS 15 that we have not got before? So let's start with the new live text feature. This is a very clever and cool feature that you can use when you are out and about or just browsing through your photos. Your phone will now know what is text in the camera or an old photo, and you can now copy that text and use it for something. An example is if you want to go to a pub that your mates have gone to and they took a picture outside the sign. You can hold on the phone number on the sign and your phone will copy the phone number to the phone app so you can call that pub. This is pretty clever technology. There is also a new feature called Focus. This is a new feature that has specific modes that you can put your phone in. This can be work mode, personal time, sleep, fitness, gaming, reading and driving. With this each mode you can set specific home screens, so you can have a work home screen and a personal time home screen. You also get setup suggestions so you know how to set it up correctly. Like what I have said that notifications can do, they can mute specific notifications in each mode, which is clever. Depending what mode you are in, certain apps will display a message saying that you are not available now, but in the Messages app for example, urgent messages can be sent through if they need to. There is also an auto reply feature if you want to use it. Finally, you can also allow interruptions for a certain time, for example through your lunch break. Finally, the last new feature is that you can have iCloud Plus. This feature is automatically available if you have brought extra storage and you pay for it each month. What this includes above the extra storage is that you can now get a Hide My Email feature, which hides your emails if you want to. You also get unlimited storage HomeKit secure video. Finally, you get an iCloud private relay and a custom email domain which lets you sign up to sketchy sites with random email addresses so yours won't get shared about. So next up is iPadOS to start with. Be prepared to be disappointed because anything that you were expecting either didn't happen or the feature we wanted was not how we wanted it. For example, we got a new home screen, but this only included having widgets on the home screen like what iOS 14 had and what we wanted last year. We can't add folders or move apps where we want them. There is a new multitasking feature that lets you multitask with 3 apps. To make multitasking easier, there are 3 dots in the middle up the top so you can easily add other apps. Finally, there is a shelf for different emails and different tabs in Safari. Other new features include a new Translate app, and you can now code apps from your iPad for the iPad and iOS. There is also a new feature for MacBook and iPad users is that you can now seamlessly move your cursor from your Mac onto your iPad. This is done when your devices are close though. This means you can drag a drawing from your iPad and move it to your Mac if you wanted to. So macOS has got a new name, so it is now called Monterey. The only new features that you get include the new Safari app. You can now turn your Macs into wireless speakers or TVs with the support of AirPlay, and people with M1 Macs now have spatial audio. Finally, watchOS 8. There is a new wallet and home app. There are some new workout types and mindfulness has improved. There are better sleep statistics and you get the same focus modes as you get with your iOS device. You can also set multiple timers, and there is a new portrait wallpaper which puts the time in between the background and foreground of your pictures you have set as your wallpapers. So what do you think of all of the new features we got at WWDC 2021? Personally, I think it was a disappointment, especially for the iPadOS, as it has the potential to be like the MacBooks but again is heavily limited by the software, which is a shame. Let me know in the comment section below and don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.